When someone tries to belittle us, there's usually a reason behind it. Those comments, which seem designed just to provoke, often stem from the other person's insecurities or need for control. Deep down, humiliation, whether disguised as a joke or delivered directly, is an attempt to establish a hierarchy, to show that the speaker has more power, even if it's only in their own mind. That's why these remarks often affect our confidence and can even make us question our own position. This happens because, in our minds, it's almost automatic to see the comment as a reflection of who we are, rather than as an issue with the other person. Without realizing it, we absorb that dismissive tone as if it were a truth about us. And it's not just our everyday experiences that reveal the impact of these behaviors. Psychological research shows that humiliation and shame are forms of emotional manipulation, often used to destabilize the target. These feelings are powerful because, unlike guilt, which comes from self-criticism, humiliation depends on external judgment. It's someone placing us in an inferior position where our dignity feels at stake. A study on the emotional impact of humiliation found that participants felt as though they had lost value or status, demonstrating that this attempt to belittle someone is a form of social control. Additionally, research shows that when we're exposed to humiliation, the brain of the person humiliating us reacts with increased dopamine release, the same substance linked to the brain's reward system. In other words, the person trying to humiliate us is seeking an emotional reward by seeing our reaction, which reinforces their sense of power over us. Imagine this. You're in a group of friends. Everyone is chatting and catching up. When someone with that joking tone says, "Wow, it's been over 2 years since you've been single. Are your standards too high?" Maybe the people around don't even notice, but you feel the sting of the comment immediately. The natural reaction is to want to respond, make a joke back, or explain that you're focusing on other things and enjoying life your way. But by doing that, we end up playing the other person's game, giving them exactly what they wanted, a response that shows they've managed to unsettle us. As some studies suggest, this defensive reaction we have is precisely the emotional reward the person making the comment is after. Seeing us respond makes them feel like they've gained the power they sought, that they've managed to shake our confidence. They see the effect they caused, feel an internal reward for having gotten under our skin, and often this reinforces their behavior. For an untrained mind, the first impulse is to snap back with a sharp retort. But before reacting, perhaps the real first step is to give less importance to those who make such comments. When we know ourselves well and are at peace with who we are, these attempts to provoke become just that. A frustrated, almost childish attempt to get attention. It's like a dart that, as it approaches us, loses its force and simply falls to the ground. It's important to understand that yes, often the person making these comments is trying to get to us and feels a certain satisfaction in seeing us uncomfortable. They may even think this puts them in a position of power. But deep down, what they may not realize is that true joy in relationships comes from more constructive and affectionate connections. Often, it's someone carrying insecurity, perhaps even bitterness, who hasn't yet learned that there's a better way to relate to others, a way that would bring much longer-lasting well-being. Understanding this helps us emotionally distance ourselves from the comment and see the provocation for what it really is, an attempt to mask their own vulnerabilities. When this happens, the first thing is to stay focused on yourself, without rushing to respond. Look at the person calmly, and instead of thinking of an immediate reply, give yourself a moment to decide whether that comment even deserves a response. Sometimes, a calm expression and a simple raised eyebrow say it all. It sends the message that you noticed the intention without needing to react verbally. If you decide to respond, one option is to keep your tone light and almost unconcerned, saying something like, "Interesting you'd say that," and leaving it at that. This neutral comment disarms the other person because it shows you didn't take the bait. Ultimately, how we respond to these remarks says more about our inner peace than about the other person's actions. When we learn to remain calm and value who we truly are, these provocations lose their strength. And remember, you are not what others try to make you feel. Take care of your peace and essence,